Hey everyone, I hope you're having a nice weekend and enjoying some sunshine. Some things for this week. First of all, I'm not really sure what my schedule is going to look like. My oldest, his school went virtual for tomorrow and Tuesday, and my youngest woke up with a little bit of a fever this morning. So I'm not really sure how that's all going to shake out this week. I'll definitely stop in tomorrow and do a couple of things, but I won't plan to be here long. But the rest of the week is just real TBD. So if you need me and I haven't left notes or anything, just give me a call if you stop by. So a few things inside. I started these peas here, the soil blocks here, and another tray here, and neither of them have germinated yet, so I think we should probably just find a new couple of seed packets in the back and take out the seeds that are in here and resow them. So I used two different types, and I'm not really worried about what exact types they are. I just want to try two different types. This one's Super Snappy Peas, and I think this one is Sugar Daddy. So you can find the same ones, but if you see something else that looks interesting, go for it. I have already started these purple snow peas, and these are germinating, although they're germinating kind of erratically. So just do something different than that. Unless these start germinating in the next day or two, I would just resow them. These bachelor buttons there's a couple really teeny ones popping up, so I'll give these, I was just gonna resow these, but it looks like they're just starting to come up, so we'll see how these go. The Chinese celery is not doing anything, but I think I remember the seed packet saying it takes 14 to 21 days to germinate, so we'll keep on watering these and see what happens. This lettuce, I just want to thin out each block so there's just one plant growing. If they're too close together and you feel like you might dislodge both plants, just take a scissors and just trim one of them back. So leave whichever one looks the best and then trim the rest back. Tomorrow I am going to bring little wooden skewers or something to stake these up with. I'm just going to put one in each cell just so this has something to climb up. So I'll probably leave some here, so if you're here and you notice that they're getting big, you can just stick a skewer in there and so it can climb up. I gave everything a good watering today, so we should be good for the next day or so. These are starting to germinate, although not in every cell, but those will be a while. Let me see what else. Everything back here will just need to be watered. Oh, Claire did pot up some of the figs here, which I will put a label in. Some of these other branches might have roots on them. If someone wouldn't mind just going through here and digging them up. I haven't dug up any myself, but if you dig some up and just see if they have any good roots on them, maybe we can get a couple of more plants started. And if they don't, that's fine. Just throw these out in the woods or in the compost. But if we can get a couple more, I think that would be nice. And those bigger pots are down here underneath the table that you can put those in. We need to thin out these leeks. Again, it might be hard to thin them out because some of them are so close together. I would just take a pair of scissors and trim back the ones that aren't looking as strong or as big, if you can. And if they're too close together, then just leave them for now and we can thin them a bit later. With the seeds that are left in here, these are ones that I didn't use for any of the other projects that I have going. So if you wouldn't mind, if you're here and you have time, you can take these seeds back to the seed closet, see if we have room for them. I know the seed closet's pretty full. And if we don't have any more room for that, then just leave them in here and I'll kind of figure out where to go from there. But I just figured at least we could at least see what we need and go from there. I have a couple of things in here I'm going to send over to Renee at EFP this week at some point. and I'm going to be doing some stuff with this in here. That I think is about all in here. In terms of harvesting outside, I think the Swiss chard is pretty much done. There might be some kale that can be harvested and maybe some collards that can be harvested if the weather's nice enough. Maybe a little bit of spinach. A lot of the tatsoi is not looking great. Maybe some mustard in bed 5 up there. That's in that bed with like the mixed grains. You might get some like parsley in the herb bed and maybe some cilantro back here in the stand-up bed. And there might be some mustard you can harvest out of that as well. So I guess it just kind of depends on the weather. We'll see how things are this week. I think it's supposed to be pretty dry and maybe warm a couple of days. So if you're here and you're able to, I think you can go ahead and just harvest a little bit. I wouldn't take off too much, maybe just a couple of leaves off the kale. And there is a good amount of leaves on those kale plants, so maybe we take a couple off of there. But I would just harvest like 1 or 2 leaves off the collards and some of the other plants. So nothing too much in terms of harvesting, and I think that's about it. But like I said, just give me a ring if anything comes up, and thanks as always for your help this week. Bye bye.